not every bank account will have an electronic feed in Xero, so we can instead do a manual import. You may also want to do this if you're missing transactions from your account. We can start by selecting the account we want to manage, and then selecting Import a Statement. Xero will give us the option to download a CSV template. If we select this, we can now fill in the relevant fields. 2 of these are mandatory, which is the date and the amount, but we recommend filling in as many of these fields as possible. We will want to use the standard short date represented in the UK format. Your transactions should be ordered oldest first. And with our values, we enter all of these as a single line. Any money in will be a positive transaction. Any money out should be represented as a negative transaction. And the values should be entered without any currency symbols. We're literally just looking for the value. As for our remaining fields, these are simply additional details to help with reconciling. And we should fill in as many of these as possible. We should have the contact name and any relevant description that comes with the transaction, which may be of use. But we can leave these fields blank. So some may have references and others may not. We can simply leave these fields blank. Before we do the import, we're going to do a quick check to make sure all of our transactions are correct. So in a new column, start off by entering in the opening balance of the statement you're completing. If it's an overdrawn account or a value due, this will be entered in as a negative. And with the cell below, we're doing a simple sum. This cell will equal the cell above plus the amount of the transaction on this line. We can then drag this formula down, and this will give us a running total. This way we can check that our values are entered in the correct way round, and also that we're not missing any values, or that any values have been entered in incorrectly. The end closing balance should match your statement which you're reconciling to. And if it does, we can simply delete this column as our checks have been completed. Now we can save this file ready to be imported. So rename the document as you would like and check that the file is being saved as a comma-separated value document or a CSV file. These files will almost always ask you to confirm your save, so we simply select Continue on this. And now we go back to our Xero bank account and we select Import a Statement, and then we browse for our document and select the file we just saved. Once we select Import, Xero will either reject the file, in which case you'll be notified, or it will accept it. If it does reject your file, simply open this up in edit mode. Start by checking all of your dates are ordered oldest to newest and are in the correct format. Also check that your values don't have any currency symbols or spaces after values, as these may stop the import from working. Once these have been corrected, we can then attempt the import again and keep editing it until it's accepted. Xero may at this point ask you if you want to map your fields. It's making a suggestion of how it thinks your transactions should be mapped, but we can edit these as needed. Here we want to check that every field has been allocated, and also that our statement line looks how we would expect it to. If your column has headers, we will want to make sure this box is ticked. If you're unsure of how your next few transactions would look, you can also check these by selecting Next and Previous. When we're happy with this, we can save this, and our transactions will be imported, ready for reconciling.